Property Tribes, a brand new year. Welcome along to 2019, where we are championing our Smart Landlord campaign all this month, bringing you exclusive content. And one landlord who epitomises for me a smart landlord is Takiar. Punk, I'm so glad that you can be part of our campaign this month, because I've been up to see you, what you do in Manchester, and you really take a very holistic view to being a landlord, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. We believe it's not just beautiful houses that we try to do, you know, nicely designed, lovely furniture. It's how you then offer that to the tenants, and we're focusing a lot more on customer experience nowadays and how they live with you, how you interact with them. We're trying to create as much as we can a supportive living environment for them.
Yes.
So it's how you interact with them. There's a focus on their well-being. That's both physical and mental health issues, which is a big topic nowadays. But really, giving them the whole all-rounded experience. You know, we've got the brand, the Luxone brand, that stands for a set of values. So it's about getting that message across and really putting our arm around them, becoming as much as we can like surrogate parents to them.
Because we should point out that you specialise in student HMOs.
Yes,
and
student and graduates.
And you do all your properties to a very, very high standard.
Yes, yeah.
And indeed, you almost call it like a branded portfolio.
Absolutely, yeah. We are. I mean, the Luxone brand, it's very important to us. We put branding inside, outside. We have the brand applied quite professionally and also quite nicely. We do internal wall art, which is quite graffiti type, but done with a nice taste. It's to create the whole atmosphere, but it doesn't stop there. It's what the brand actually represents. Yes. And I think, it's very important. We want to make their time with us as enjoyable and as stress-free, so that they can focus on their studies, careers. It's quite challenging, especially getting the students to engage. But no, it's all about. It's a whole branded experience that we're trying to give them.
So here at Property Tribes, we're trying to champion this idea of a smart landlord. What would be your definition of a smart landlord?
Wow. You can be smart in many ways. I think what we're trying to do is stay ahead of the market. Yep. We're trying almost to be. We want to be the best house in the street, on the outside and the inside. I think really treating your tenants as customers, as clients, and giving them the best experience that they can have. Talking to them, listening to them. You know, we go to the level of detail. If they say we need this or we need that, they want high-speed internet, or you know, they want outdoor new patio furniture, they want barbecues. Listening to them and actually making it enjoyable for them, which makes it enjoyable for us. So really listening to your tenants, engaging with them, and outgunning the opposition, if I'm honest with you, giving them, exceeding their expectations, I would say.
Oh, I like that. And I think what you do so well is you have really identified a niche, and you've kind of set out to dominate that niche. Do you think the smart landlord is going to look to do one thing really, really well?
I think definitely. I think it's hard to be everything to everybody. I think if you focus on your niche, I think you've got to identify and understand your clients, understand who they are, what makes them tick, get into the detail of their profile, what influences their thinking and behaviour, and then cater for that. You know, we want to. We're trying very much to, you know, like we said, to be surrogate parents, to be in that property with them without actually being there, but just trying to understand what they want out of it. It is challenging. It's not easy, because the more you give, the more they want. So I think you've got to get that balance, and you've also got to keep an eye on the numbers. I do believe that at the end of the day, it's a business after all. But I think if you can give them more and charge a bit more for it, you don't necessarily have to earn more money, but you keep your properties full, the properties get looked after, your brand starts standing for something, and it's a lot easier to market a brand.
Yes,
I think that allows you to stay ahead.
I absolutely agree, and I think also that once you have a brand, that kind of puts you on a platform to diversify, because if you can achieve what you've achieved in the student and graduate space,
Sure.
then you can translate that whole approach to another area of property.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you think about the students are joining you at like 18, 19, then they graduate at about 21, 22, then maybe we've got them from 18 to 30, let's say. But then beyond that, they are progressing elsewhere, buying a different or renting a different type of house. So potentially, yes, we could do other models as well. We are already thinking about an apartment stroke co-working model. So it's almost like, where will these people live when they want to go into business or when they want to get into work environment? So we've got some concepts to build on that. And of course, if we've got a brand loyalty, hopefully these people will follow the brand into new ventures.
Yes, no, I can definitely see that happening. So in 2019, what would be your kind of top tip for landlords? Because there's so much uncertainty about, we can't control the economy or the Brexit fallout or government intervention. We can only control those things that are within our control, as you say, like stacking the numbers, being active in the portfolio, making sure that we're really sweating the asset, if you want to say that. So what would be your top tip for landlords in 2019?
I'm getting on a bit now, so I would say in business in general, aim for the best, plan for the worst. I think we've got to keep an eye on the cycle, the recent growth cycle. We're 10 years of growth. Uncertainty out there regarding Brexit and other issues going on in the world. Whilst you can't worry about everything, I think focus on the numbers, focus on, do a SWOT analysis on your business every so often, see what the threats are. There's a lot of threat with legislation. For my market, there's a lot of purpose-built developments coming up. In my opinion, too many, too quickly. So I think there's always going to be a demand for a good quality private student house. But I think you've got to be ready for what might be coming from outside, from left field. So I think it's a time to be cautious, but there's still opportunities.
Yes. Well, on that note, I have to say thank you so much for joining me, Punk. And what I love about you is you have a genuine passion for what you do. You really do care, and I think that's so lovely to see. And also, it keeps you so engaged with the business, because you genuinely enjoy it, don't you?
Definitely.
I couldn't imagine running a business where I didn't like it.
No,
So
I
maybe
you're right.
smart landlords will be the ones that really, really love what they do. And if you don't love what you do, then maybe the time to exit.
Absolutely, I'd agree with you. I think passion, we've got a set of values, and passion is the very first value we have on that list. And I think if you don't really enjoy what you do, can you really do it to the best of your ability? I'm not sure you can, so totally agree with that.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Punk, for joining me, and do stay tuned. We've got more smart landlord content coming up through January 2019, exclusive videos bringing you insights into what property commentators and landlords think it takes to be a smart landlord going forwards this year. So stay tuned, more to come.
Thank you.